the shining light, external factors still a bit of concern. How do you view that?
Well, basically, the uncertainty of the whole world can be a problem. Not only geopolitical conflicts, but also the whole domestic, political issues around the major countries in the whole world. Just take a look. We have more than 60% of the population at the grand election of this year. So this uncertainty can be a very important problem. Very fortunately, China continued with its continuity and also stability. I think this is something very important and very good for the whole society, especially for the supply chain. And of course, we think the uncertainty in the whole world can be a problem. Combining with, real estate sectors in China, as well as consumption sectors in China, really need more of the support. But we're very confident because China maintained very cherishable stabilities and continuities. So I think this is going to be good for China in the coming 1 or 2 years, and also good for the whole world.
Heat is in proportion to the want of true knowledge. Jan, I just got back from China. I was there for almost a month, and you're just kind of, and of course I haven't been there in quite a while with COVID and everything. You're just kind of, it's smacking what you see. I mean, you go to the hotels, there are robots flying all over the place. I mean, you go to some of these EV manufacturing sites, and the robotics, just it's overwhelming how quickly they can produce a car. EV cars just rolling off the assembly line like crazy. So you think about what's going on, you can see that the engine's chugging along. As you look into the numbers, where are the bright spots? And still, obviously, you have to be concerned about where there might be some headwinds. How do you view things?
Right, good to talk to you, Mike. So I completely agree. I think China's economy has built really solid momentum, and I agree with the speaker from the Bureau of Statistics. There are three major reasons. One has to do with policy support, second external factors, and third has to do with these new quality productive forces that have been transforming China's economic structure, but also pushing China's growth forward. So start with the policy support. I think this new president is going to launch new policies. They will be continuing to deepen the reform and opening, for the next era of growth. And I agree with Andy, continuity is the theme, right? That China has talked about high quality growth back in 2017 and has been followed that path, and now is developing of, core and emerging technologies and upgrading traditional technologies to materialize the innovation and productivity-driven economy. And then the external factor, I think, is very interesting. Starting the year, many people said, China's high growth cannot be sustainable because all these protectionism policies, which is true. We see 3 times more protectionist policies last year than before the COVID. But at the same time, I think China's export performance has been, remarkable because of all the innovations, all the, competitiveness. The export has grown by 6.9% in the first half of this year. And especially when you look at the structure of the exports, a lot comes from the so-called new trail, right? The EVs, the batteries, and also solar panels. That has grown by 30%. And China also has expanded, outreach and market spaces in the global south. So I think a lot of these will continue to drive that external demand. Besides, as some of the speakers talked about, the volatile political and economic geopolitical environment. And then last but not least, I think this new quality of productive growth, would remain the big central theme of the current plateau. And I think there will be a lot more efforts on investing in basic research, in reform the market to make it more competitive, to production innovation, supporting the private sector, right, which accounts for 60% of output, 70% of employment, and 70% of tax, and 80% of employment, and also play a pivotal role in technological innovation. So I think all of these three very important driving forces for China will continue to consolidate and will continue to build the momentum.
Follow-up. You said if you're looking for anything dramatic, forget it. And as Andy pointed out, continuity is the big thing. So what type of policy changes are we going to expect? Like incremental changes? I mean, what do you expect to come out of this?
Right. So I think from a lot of the Western point of view, what China is needing, as they think, is a big untargeted transfer payments from the government to the households. They're pointing out, for example, the the retail sales growth has been relatively weak, only gone up, by 3.8%. 7%, I think, in the first half. And so they take it as a reason that we need to have a bazooka for the transfer payment to the household. But I don't think this is the way China considers to stimulate on the demand side. I think for China, give people fish is less good than teach people how to fish. So to create stable and happy jobs and help, to provide training and create jobs, especially for the young people, also, help the rural residents to be able to spend more by providing, relaxation on focal restrictions and reform their rural homestead, land reform, and also, trying to provide more social programs at the local levels, right? Provide more healthcare support, pensions, and education. So I think all of this will help to reduce people's precautionary saving and help to stimulate the demand. Let's not forget, the households, the real growth of the per capita income has grown by 5.3% in the first half of this year. So the income growth is faster than the GDP growth. And yet the consumption is not matching up. I think it's because of this precautionary savings due to the